Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, September 1st, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. It is the Friday before a holiday extended weekend, Labor Day on Monday. So we will not have a pre-market video until next Tuesday, September 5th. I do want to invite all of you to join me next week. Next week we have a premium boot camp from the trading room that we are offering here for our members. If you're not yet a member, you can get free access to the trading room for the next month, which also includes access to the premium boot camp training as well. So if you go over here to pivotboss.com/events, you can get free trading room access for 1 month. You've got to sign up quickly because this deal will not be here past Labor Day. And then you have access to the premium boot camp. For those of you that will be joining our premium boot camp, you can click here and get a schedule of events here. We will be focusing on our proprietary signals library and teaching you all these signals and how to use them to find and trade high quality opportunities in the market. So this is going to be a can't miss week of training here, and it's during the lunchtime training here. And for those of you that will not be able to attend live, these sessions will be recorded and posted in our trading room. So again, this is for our premium members. If you are not a member, you can become one right now for free for the next month and get access to that training. Again, you can come up here and get started right away. Additionally, we have our monthly market outlook. This is free and open to everyone. This will also be next Tuesday, September 5th at 4 p.m. Central. You can use the Zoom webinar link here to join. And down below, in the week to follow here, September 11th through September 15th, we will be hosting the PivotBoss Masters live sessions. This is in 10 days, 7 hours here. This is going to be phenomenal. Thrust reversal signal and the squat paint bars will be introduced as well. So a ton of great content coming up. I would love for you all to join me here next week for our premium boot camp. Again, this is Tuesday through Friday of next week. Monday, we will enjoy the Labor Day holiday here in the U.S. and then get right to it on Tuesday. All right, let's get to the charts. Here's the daily time frame of the ES. Right now, you'll notice narrow range price action here heading into the NFP report here shortly. 3-day narrow range, compression, tremendous compression here. One of the things that's very interesting about how strong this market has been lately is the failure to get a new low right here led to a huge squeeze back past that prior pivot high. That was huge. That prior pivot high was also the previous quarter's close price. So it's pushed back above that zone and is now holding in a 3-day narrow range. You can see the 8-period average coming up quickly to provide potential support up ahead. So if we get some sort of shakeout leg, maybe we get some big drop here early this month and then we see a rejection, that rejection right there could provide a tremendous buying opportunity for the next push to 46.50 up ahead. That could be the next move up ahead if this thing can withstand a pullback to between 44.85 and 4,500 up ahead. Failure to hold this zone, for example, if this becomes a trap and then we get a huge swoosh back down, then again we're looking at the 43.50 as the next key level here. So we're kind of teetering on the pivot of 4,500 with 46.50 up above and 43.50 down below. 150 point distribution, big time narrow range here as we head into the NFP, and that could provide great volatility early in the day, and then after that we might fizzle out and go a bit range bound heading into the holiday extended weekend. From a 3-day range perspective, obviously this may change here with NFP. It's currently very compressed here at 40% of average with the potential for 100 plus points soon. So can we get a breakout from this range? If it's down first, could be a great downward move, but then do we see a reaction that can take us back up at some point? Looking for bulls to defend into weakness for a shot at extending this move higher. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ, super narrow range the previous session, 2-day narrow range now, inside day. Also a 3-day narrow range as well, as you can see here, quantified at 40% of ADR. Also Big time rejection here that dropped us down, did not get a new low. Instead, this thing came back and pushed back through that prior pivot high and is currently holding at the moment. Very similar to the ES. Now we have a lower value relationship for the pivot range for the month, but with a bullish close. That's a bullish change of bias here, at least a bullish bias on that close, which means the first pullback into the pivot range will typically be defended by bulls for a shot at testing the edge. So that's the first idea. If we get a pullback as deep as 200 to 250, that could provide an opportunity to squeeze this thing up to about 15.9 to 16K. So that's the idea up ahead to begin the month. We'll see how this thing plays out once NFP comes and goes. If we take a look here at crude oil, what a move by crude. Tremendous strength. We've noted before how this one has shaken off some weakness here lately and has really come to play to the upside. Big time strength. You got a big time failed new low, outside day up here and pushing through that prior pivot high. Nice squat day and compression day leading to an expansion day here through the 82s, which we mentioned was going to be very important. And now opening up the upside to just within reach of the previous high there. That previous high is just shy of 85s. This high right here being 84.89. Today's high right here being 84.81. 8 pennies off that high. We still could see a push into that high. Now, keep in mind, this is a big time area of resistance for crude oil. It's the 83.50 to 85 zone. 85 now because of the recent pivot high. Currently, we've been trading kind of in this zone here, and we're up in this upper area. Now, getting higher through 84.85 to get into the 94 zone has been nearly impossible here since last November. I mean, the first week of November is probably the last time we were there, and it dropped, and then it's been heavy resistance ever since. So can this market make it through to 93? Or do we see a higher high failure of sorts that takes us back down to the recent pivot low of 77? That could be more in line with what we see up ahead. So watching for, again, do we get a reaction or rejection of 85s? Could be a higher high failure, perhaps a bearish divergence, and that could lead to a rotation back to 77 down below. Right now, seasonality is way against the potential for a push up to 94s, but this has been a year where seasonality has been completely thrown out the window. So maybe we do get that move, but again, watching this area for a reaction or rejection of some sort that could lead us back down within the range ahead. Looking at gold futures, you'll see right here gold futures showing quite a bit of compression over the last 3 days, 49% of average on a 3-day range basis. Obviously, NFP report here shortly, and that could open up and influence the range. Now, this thing did squeeze through the 1950 level. That was what we were expecting, especially after this strong low. And now that we've gotten it and compressing at highs, the next pullback is still an opportunity to buy for a continuation up. Now, the midpoint of the month is here, 1960. Perhaps we go a little bit below it. 1950 I would call the key level here at the moment, still is. So if it drops as deep as 1950, it could be a buy for 2000 to 2010 up above. That's the target zone we're looking for in gold. We'll see which way we go here up ahead. But again, narrow 3-day range after strength would usually suggest a continuation, especially if we get a failed new low first. Lastly, looking at the YM. The YM in the previous session put in a very strong high, outside day down, basically rejected the breakdown point here on the retest, and that could be very, very bearish ahead. At the moment, after a big time drop like that, any pullback toward the midpoint could be an opportunity to drop it further to the downside. We have a developing potential key range here from strong pivot low to strong pivot high. So if this thing continues to hold below the previous session's midpoint, perhaps there's a quick retest back toward 34,620, 34,600, and then we'll see what happens from there. Overall, this market has been very strong as well, but with yesterday's strong rejection here, it's going to be something to watch to see how it plays out. Now here, this is where it gets really bullish. If at the RTH open, the YM is trading through this midpoint, that's when things could get very, very bullish, and we're making some sort of move up here toward 35,400. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the holiday extended weekend. No pre-market video on Monday. We'll be back for that on Tuesday. Remember, please be sure to visit pivotboss.com/events for the upcoming PivotBoss Premium Trading Room Bootcamp and all of the things on the schedule there. It's going to be a great few weeks up ahead, and I want you to be a part of it. Take care, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you in the trading room.